ChatGPT, if I live in the US and I wanted to buy my first real estate investment as a home to live in first, is it a smarter idea for me to buy a duplex or a single family home statistically, which is proven to be a better investment?
Statistically, buying a duplex can often be a better investment, even if you plan to live in it first. Here are a few reasons why. 1. Rental income. By renting out one unit, you can generate rental income to offset your mortgage and living expenses. 2. Property value. Duplexes can have higher rental demand and potentially appreciate in value faster.
Guys, you heard it here. Even ChatGPT agrees you should never buy as a first-time home buyer a single family home. Guys, it is absolutely not an investment. It's just expenses. And statistically, it's been proven in the US that most homeowners that owns properties in neighborhoods where the value of the properties are $600,000 or below, at some point in time, they face foreclosure, right? They almost lost their home. Even if they didn't lose it, they went through cycles where, they had to do so many things to not lose their home. And then they're one paycheck away to lose their single family home. Why? Because it's just expenses. All you're doing is taking money out of your pocket, pay the mortgage, and most people don't consider all these other expenses that comes with owning a single family home. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today, guys. If you're new into this channel, my name is Mamadou Diallo, full-time real estate developer here in the US. And guess what, guys? I actually started with single family homes. I started with fix and flips, then we did the buy and hold. With single family homes, we realized complete trash. Then we moved into multifamily, and now we're into real estate new development, guys. So subscribe to this channel, like this video, and let's get to it, guys. So listen, why is a single family home? And you know what's funny, guys? I'm gonna add a B-roll. The home that I'm standing in right now is an $850,000 single family home that have a full finished basement. Just the basement alone is a 3-bedroom and 1 bath, completely finished. Is a house by itself, right? So we're gonna give 2 different examples here, but I am in a single family here where we've been able to turn this single family into an investment and not turn it just into an expense. So we're gonna give 2 examples because I know I get so many newbies that reach out to me and say, but Mamadou, I would love to buy the duplex where I live in 1 floor and rent 1, but in my local state, it's so difficult to find a duplex, right? It's very difficult to find a duplex. The inventory is very, very low in certain states, which is fine. Well, guess what? You can still be smart even if you have to go with a single family, because in your local state there's not a lot of duplexes, but turn the single family into an investment by making sure that you don't only have 1 door, you have 2 doors, so you have a complete finished basement that you can turn into an investment. And we'll talk about how I've been able to do this here. And I'm gonna go show you guys a B-roll. So don't worry, if you live in a state where there is not a lot of inventory when it comes to duplexes, we're gonna address exactly how you can get a single family and turn that into an investment as well, not just expenses. Guys, what most people don't realize when they buy a single family home is they always go, oh, right now I'm paying like, let's say $2,500 on rent. And if I buy a single family home, then that rent can go towards the mortgage. What most things that they don't calculate is that it's not just about the mortgage. You have things like property taxes, right? So you have to pay property taxes at the end of the year. Then also the bank knows, because they've studied human psychology and our behaviors, they absolutely know that most homeowners that buy single family homes actually don't keep these homes for more than 7 years. So every 7 years, typically what ends up happening is most families or most homeowners, single family homeowners, want to either move out of the neighborhood, change location, maybe a job made them move. They had a family expansion where they had 2 kids, now they have 3, so they need extra rooms. For whatever the case may be, every 7 years, most homeowners that own single families actually end up moving out from this property, selling it, right? And most are at a loss. Don't sit there thinking everybody's just selling all these homes and making all this equity. Why? The reason being is because typically the property, if you keep a property for 7, 10, 15, 20 years, the property didn't really truly appreciate. I'm talking about the bricks, right? And the interior didn't didn't truly really appreciate in value. And the reason for that is because the condition of the home actually deteriorate, right? So people destroy their homes, they don't take care of it, they don't renovate it, they don't keep it up to date. So by the time they want to sell it, most homeowners actually have to sell this thing at a loss, so probably less than what they bought it for, because they didn't keep up the home well, or their kids destroyed, whatever, right? And so what the bank knows is that in 7 years, most likely, most families is going to sell this home and then take another new 30-year mortgage to do the same exact thing again in a different neighborhood, for whatever the case may be. Maybe you're too old, and you can't do the stairs anymore, so you need like a ranch house where it's only one floor, whatever. They know. So this idea, that this home ownership idea here in the US. By the way, if you are an immigrant here in the US, which I am, guess what? If you've never been into the US school system, you're absolutely lucky, because this garbage is actually sold in their system. This home ownership, the idea of home ownership. Oh, I want to be a homeowner. I want to be a homeowner. Everybody you meet, I want to be a homeowner. I want to be a homeowner. It's just the title. It's pure culture pressure, but is also sold by the banks and the school system. Now, who finances the schools? Obviously the banks. The banks want you either, one, to take a loan to go to school and study stuff you'll never use in your life, right? Two, they want you to take a mortgage out to go into a house, right? To buy a home that you're going to live in, knowing full well it is not an investment. The number one reason that should tell you that a duplex is better than buying a single family, it is the fact that it's way harder to find a duplex. Right? There is a reason why diamonds are not all over the place. They're rare because they're valuable. It is the same exact thing with duplexes. You don't just get up and go on Zillow and just find a duplex. It's not how it works. They're a little bit harder to find. You can find I can throw a stone right now out of my window and hit a single family home. That should tell you something, right? But going and being in debt for 30 plus years in a house where you just live in, and every single month, by definition, guys, by definition, an investment is something that brings cash, right, into your pockets, not take it out. If he's not bringing money into your pocket every single month, and all he's doing is taking out, so you're paying, right, the mortgage, you're paying the property taxes, then you're paying to extend, to add an extra bedroom, then AC unit at some time goes off, whatever. Then you're spending, and you are $500 away from being in a foreclosure status. Well, guess what? This is expenses. Until, if you're lucky, and if you're really, really lucky that nothing goes wrong in the market, we don't have another COVID-19, you don't lose a job, whatever. Most people count on a 9 to 5. They don't have any extra streams of income. Well, if you're really, really lucky and you live in this perfect world where nothing goes wrong, and we know that's a fallacy, right? Nobody does. Well, then if you get this house paid off, so let's say you bought it, I don't know, at $300,000, and you keep it long enough, right? You keep it long enough to now maybe you only owe the bank, like, let's say $100,000. Then yes, then potentially you've built equity, or you keep it for the full 30 years, right? After you've paid double the house, because mostly all you're paying is interest. And now the house is free and clear, meaning you don't have any debt. And is assuming also you have the money to renovate the house to actually sell it for its full ARV. What we call ARV, guys, is after repair value, right? So after repair value means the property is fully renovated and you can sell it for its full potential, for its full value. A family can go in, live in today, and they don't have to renovate anything, right? Other than that, you have to sell it at a loss or barely sell it for what you bought it for 30 years ago. Most people don't consider this. Obviously, the banks, guys, they're a lending institution. They are in the lending business, right? They're in the giving money out business, giving loans, right? They're not there to advise you for your best interest. They're just there to convince you to take a loan. Same thing with the school system. They're there to teach you garbage, because the lenders, because the banks, the banking institutions finance the schools. Obviously, they have a say of what can be taught in school. It's funny how you can go to school for years and years, get out, and you don't even know how to use a mortgage calculator. Can you guys imagine? You don't even know how to calculate the interest that you'll pay on a home that you've bought for the next 30 years. Isn't that crazy? And you got a university degree. So guys, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Stay away from a single family where only you and your family can live in, especially if all you can afford is, the neighborhoods where the value of these properties are $600,000 or below, because that means you're part of the low income or middle class, which is completely getting wiped out right now. We no longer have a middle class. We're no longer going to have this thing called the middle class. Whether you like it or not, it is a reality. We're in the AI era. This is completely going to get wiped out. You're either going to jump on the other side of the fence, which is being wealthy, or you're going to be at the bottom right of the financial ladder. All right, guys, so now let's get to it. Why is a duplex way better investment for a first time home buyer? Guys, this right here, even if, now guys, this is an absolute no-brainer, right, to buy a 2-floor. Remember, when you're getting into real estate, even if you're buying your first primary where you're gonna live in, guys, the idea is for it to be an investment from day one, even if you're gonna live in. And the only way for you to do that is to have more than one door. So here, if we have 2, right, you can live here with your family, and then here you can have a tenant, right? You can have a tenant here waking up every single day, going to work at their 9 to 5 and paying you, right? So putting money in your pocket. Now, by definition, you have what is called an investment because the money is coming in, is not going out, right? Now, on the average market, you can at least rent the floor here for at least 50, if not a little bit over, of your mortgage payments, right? Now remember, guys, when you go to the bank to borrow, most people are going to use something called the FHA loan, which is one of the best loans you can get because all you need is typically 3%. And then if you qualify for it, typically they can even qualify you from 580 credit score. If you have a better credit score, obviously it's better, but all you need is 3% to get this loan. Is a government-backed loan, one of the best loans you can get. So don't waste it on a single family if you can find a duplex in your market. And we're gonna talk about how you can use the same exact thing to buy a single family, but also turn the single family into an investment. The second thing is, if you're lucky and you're in the military, then you have what is called a VA loan. Even better, this here typically they put absolute 0% down, or you have, guys, conventional, right? So the conventional loans, typically you put up to like 5%, right? So this is not bad. This is the best loans typically you can get, and the bank will give it to you because you're going to go in and tell them that you are going to live in it. This is your primary residence. So your primary address is going to be in this home. And what the bank are going to do, they're going to do something called underwriting, right? So they're going to do a napkin underwriting. They're going to do the same exact thing that you need to be doing. You, not your real estate agent. You need to go in and learn how to study your own market and learn exactly, how do I find out what my floor, one of the floors where I'm buying, what can you rent for? So what is basically the market rent? M for market, and then the market rent, right? So the bank is going to sit down and do what is called underwriting. So they're going to do a napkin underwriting to determine, okay, if Mamadou is looking to buy this property right here, he's going to use a FHA or a VA or a conventional, right? Depending what you qualify for. This depends on your profile. By the way, guys, if you need help repairing your credit, upping your credit score, the fastest way possible, showing you the exact banks, the best way to go about this, even teach you how to study your market and understand all this data here in the US, guys, and all across all 50 states, guys, help you set up your profile the right way before you walk into the bank. Because, guys, you walk into the bank knowing, not asking questions. They're not there to teach you, they're there to lend you. Don't go into your real estate agent well asking, because 99.9% of real estate agents don't even own their own primary home, let alone invest in real estate. They don't know. Don't ask them. You need to hire a real estate agent knowing you're telling them what to do. They're not telling you what to do. The only reason you hire a real estate agent is because they have a little fancy license that allow them to to go on the MLS, right? You don't have access to it because you don't have, the license, but it's just that they can access that site, either list your property or help you look at all the inventory in the area, the easiest way. So just look at them as almost like an admin assistant that you're hiring and you're paying them 2-3%. That's it. They're not there to advise you. They shouldn't advise you. It's not part of their training. They don't know what they're doing. They don't invest in real estate. You don't go to, a lawnmower and ask them, how do you become a dentist? It just doesn't make any sense. All right, guys, you need to know this is your investment. So you need to know, you need to invest in yourself. So, guys, if you need these services where we're going to repair your credit, help you up your credit score, help you get some trade lines, whatever you need, set up your profile right before you walk in, help you study the market, put a comment below, let me know, guys. I'll give you the information to reach out to us and we'll help you with that, right? So here, if you're going to buy this, guys, the bank are going to do what is called underwriting. All underwriting means, guys, is the bank have what is called, for those of you that don't know, when you walk into the bank, your teller your loan officer, loan broker. These are all salespeople. They don't make any decisions. The people that make the decisions in the banks are called the underwriter. So they'll do what is called underwriting. What is called underwriting is they'll look at it and go, okay, Mamadou is buying this property on 123 Main Street. So I have identified the potential property I'm looking to buy, or I know exactly the neighborhood, and I know kind of like the price points. And what I'm looking to do is to go in and get pre-approved, right? Pre-approved. So I'm looking to go into my lender once I verify that my my profile is ready. I'm looking to go in first before I buy the home and get pre-approved and see exactly up to how much based on my profile the bank will give me. So let's say I looked at neighborhood A and I found out that duplexes in this neighborhood cost roughly 500K, guys. I'm just making up a number. Then you need to go in and see if the bank is gonna pre-approve you potentially for this amount anyway, right? So what they're gonna do with the duplex, contrary to a single family where the only thing they have to rely on is your credit, your pay stubs, right? That's the only thing they can look at, and then your history, your own profile history. And the reason for that is because they know the single family is not going to bring you any income. So it's way harder actually to qualify for a single family than to qualify for a duplex. When it's a duplex, the bank is looking at like, okay, Mamadou can only live in one floor. Day one, you haven't even bought the property yet. This is what they're doing, underwriting. They're looking at the neighborhood, they're looking at the area and going, okay, so he can only live in one floor. He can rent the other one. So let's say like this one, we can rent it for, I don't know, 1,800. I'm just making up a number, guys, right? Depending on the market. So rent rates varies market to market. So you have to invest in yourself and learn how to come up with these numbers yourself before you go to your real estate agent and your bank. You go in knowing, you don't go in asking questions, right? So let's say they determine, okay, Mamadou can rent this for 1,800. He's not going to be the one who paid this. He's going to put tenants here. Guys, it doesn't matter if the tenant is going to be your uncle, your cousin, which you shouldn't, by the way. But let's say hypothetically you have a big family and it's going to be a family member down there. You still want to have a legal lease in place. You still want to collect, your rent every single month as a landlord. So you want to, structure these things professionally, even if you put a family member down there. Remember that, guys, okay? So before you even buy it, they're going to determine, okay, 1,800 Mamadou can get. So what they're going to do, they're going to take this 1,800, they're going to use the rent itself to qualify you guys. So here's what they're going to do. So typically, guys, if you are buying the single family, it's only your salary, right? So you have to earn 4%, 3 to 4% of your monthly payments. When it comes to a duplex, they're going to say, okay, 1,800. So let's say hypothetically you make, I don't know, I'm just making up a number. You're making $60,000 per year. So this is your salary at your 9 to 5, okay? $60,000. This is what you're making a year. They're gonna go, okay, Mamadou is gonna go in. So we've looked at his personal profile, great. He qualifies. We looked at his pay stubs. We looked at his credit history. This is all great. Now he has an extra income because there is another person that is going to come in here and put money into Mamadou's pockets. Boom. So they're going to take the 1,800. They're going to time it by 12. The reason for that is because we have 12 months within the year. So they'll determine that my tenant will pay me from January to December. That will give me $21,600, right, per year. And what they're going to do, guys, with this 21 that I haven't even earned yet. I haven't had a penny yet from this money. They're going to say, okay, 21,600 is what this property, 21,600, this property is going to bring this to Mamadou in his pockets. This is now an investment, guys. It's going to bring this in my pocket. They're going to take, guys, 75% of this loan while they're underwriting it. Remember, guys, they're underwriting it. We haven't even bought the asset yet. So they're going to underwrite it and go, okay, 75% of, 21,060 is what? Let's do this 75%. That's 16,200. 16,200. So they're going to take the 75% amount. So 16,200. We're going to go, okay, 16,200. We're going to consider this is income for Mamadou. Okay, now it's an investment. And we're going to add it on his salary. So now my salary at my 9 to 5 is $60,000. So the underwriter is going to say, okay, so let's consider that Mamadou is bringing in 76,200 instead of 60. You see, guys? You see why is this an investment? So now this gives me more power. This gives me more what is called borrowing power. Okay? Borrowing power. So if If this was a single family, and let's say hypothetically I could only qualify for $400,000 because is only my profile and my income that they can count on, because now this is an investment and I'm doing a 2-floor, that raises my income to 76,200 without me having to do anything for it. It's somebody else waking up every single morning, going to work at their 9 to 5, right, to provide this income to me. Okay, guys? And now they're gonna qualify me based on this right here. Obviously, I'm gonna qualify for more money so I can buy a more expensive property. You see, guys, it's way simpler, right? When it comes to the appreciation, it's way better if you keep it up to date. And what this is gonna do for you guys also, if you're looking to become later, right, an active real estate investor. What an active real estate investor means is you wake up every single day, you eat, breathe, live real estate like my team and I does, right? This is what we do. Right? We do real estate, okay? If you're an active, what I mean, so if you want to be passive is somebody that has a 9 to 5 and then here and there they're buying properties for tax purposes, right? They're not active like us. They don't have a construction crew. They're not all day walking projects. They're not always looking for deals. That's somebody who's passive. If you want to be active later, your goal with this right here is to probably be in it for 12 months, okay? So you be on that first floor for 12 months, right? Let your tenant pay the first floor, and then after 12 months, you move out and you repeat this process. You buy a second one. So now you have 2 floors, right, where you've left. So now you bring here a tenant, and then you have another tenant that you already had in. So now you have 2 people paying you every single month. Okay, plus if you've structured this professionally, right? If you've structured this as a landlord, maybe by then you've invested in yourself and you know exactly how to structure a lease, you know exactly how to vet a tenant, you know exactly how to put a lease in place, collect your rent, and not take it and buy dumb shit like the Louis V's, the whatever. You don't do that. You collect your money, you learn exactly how you allocate funds on the side for repairs, vacancies, and miscellaneous, right? So you do it as a real landlord. So now next time you want to repeat the process, guess what? You can walk into the bank, whatever bank, and they'll ask you something like, okay, so now you want to buy another one. You can, if you want, you go in and now you can show them that you've had the experience for at least 12 months of property management. That matters to the bank. When you walk into the bank, especially if they go, okay, you know what, we cannot qualify you for another FHA or for another VA or for another conventional loan, and you have to go in and take what we call, non-DAC loans, so DSCR loans. DSCR loans, these are pure investment loans that those are reflect on your personal credit, because all they do is they'll give you this loan based on the asset itself, just based on the property. Well, now one thing they're going to ask you, the bank is going to tell you, okay, show us your experience. They're going to send you what is called an experience sheet, especially if you go through these private money lenders that we call hard money lenders, right? So they're going to send you the experience sheet, and then now you can go, yes, I've already taken down the property that I've managed for 12 months, I had a lease, and here's my rent rolls. Here is the rent that I've collected for the whole 12 months. That experience matters to get you now qualified for the next loan in case you cannot get a conventional loan. So structure things. Guys, this is a business. When you're doing real estate, it is a business. You got to look at these bricks as a business. Don't treat it like charity. If you want to do charity, go to the mosque or go to the church or find a homeless person on the corner of the street and then, go give them charity. When it comes to your properties, this is business. I don't care if you put your dad in it. If you don't do it right, by the way, there's a golden rule in real estate that you never rent to family, because they're the first to stop paying after 3 months, because they know you will get emotional about it and you don't want to evict them because it's family. It's just messy. You just keep it away. When you're wealthy and you can afford to go buy a house, pay it off completely and put homeless people in it or up in a shelter, then do charity. When it comes to your real estate, this is a business. Guys, we've made so many mistakes, man. I'm helping you avoid all this crap right now. I've done it. Renting to family members or just renting to tenants emotionally because they gave me a sweet story and they're like, I go to church every Sunday, Jesus this, Jesus that. They've been the worst tenants ever. After 3 months, right now, I'm dealing with one in Baltimore right now. A lady, her story was so freaking, it's a whole pity party. Her story was so sad that we ended up renting to her. Yes, she had the credit and everything, but we shouldn't have, because she haven't paid now for a whole year, and it's only one door, and we're busy evicting her. And it's been a year that that property haven't brought anything. You know why? Because it's a single family. This is in Baltimore City. It's one door, it's a single family. The tenants stop paying, the income stops. If I had 2 floors, the odds of both of them stop, having to stop paying rent at the same time is very, very, very unlikely. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, this is how you want to approach this. That's the bottom line. Now, let's say now you are in a state where duplexes are, very low inventory and you cannot find it at all. What you do, guys, is you make sure you do your market research, okay? And you find the neighborhoods where typically you don't want to buy in neighborhoods where there's HOAs. If you guys don't know what HOAs are, they're literally a mafia. Okay, the HOAs is like stands for Homeowners Association. It's if you buy a property in these neighborhoods, guys, it's like you don't own your home. They dictate what kind of paint you can paint your door. They dictate everything. So there's good and bad about it. But me, I freaking hate it because you don't own your home. So typically they'll tell you cannot have tenant inside. There's so many justifications. Even if you move out from this home and you want to rent it, like you have to justify yourself like you don't own the home. I freaking hate it. I don't like buying homes in HOA neighborhoods. So you want to make sure you do your market research and go, okay, you know what? Even though I don't have duplex inventory here, I'm going to buy a single family, but I need a single family with a finished basement. Key, guys, finished basement, finished basement, finished. Guys, you're not a handyman. You're not a GC. If you're a first-time home buyer, you're not looking to buy a home, you're not a general contractor. If you're going in and getting a conventional loan, a VA loan, FHA loan, you want to buy something that you don't need to fix anything. You don't have to clean anything. It's completely fixed up. Everything is brand new. Appliances are brand new. The kitchen is brand new. The bathrooms is brand new. The flooring is brand new. The roof is brand new. The reason for that is because you're going to the bank and getting a whole 30-year loan anyway. So don't go in and try to fix anything. You're already busy with your job. You're already busy with your Amazon deliveries and you being a nurse or wherever you work. You're already busy. Don't do that. You're not a fixer-upper type of person. All right, guys? So if you're going to go in and take a loan through the conventional banks, guess what? You want we call that a turnkey. Okay, this is what you're looking for. So you're gonna go in and look at the neighborhoods where, very great neighborhoods, great schools, right? Obviously, you want to look at all of that, great neighbors, right? Because that matters. Location. When it comes to real estate, it is a fact. It is the location that helps the property keeps its value and then keeps the values of the properties going up, right? So with that being said, you ideally want to find a home where in that neighborhood there is no HOAs, if you can, right? There's no HOAs, or that the HOA that is in place doesn't have regulations that says you cannot rent to a tenant your basement. Second thing is you find only homes that says basement finish. Remember, guys, don't go in asking anybody. You look for yourself. You're the person taking the loan. This is your investment. Don't count on the real estate agent. Don't count on anybody else. Don't count on the bank. You do your own research on your market because you're investing and taking this loan. It's your investment. It is your responsibility to do the market research. This is why you want to invest in yourself first and learn how to do this. You can do this from a computer, and then after, it's just a matter of going and driving the neighborhood and making sure that what you see online matches with what you see on the ground. All right, guys? So basement completely finished, and you want to make sure you walk a couple of properties and see that the basement not only has its own exit and entrance, but it has bedrooms, finished bedrooms, so people can sleep in, okay? And then, even if you don't have a kitchenette, sometimes you can figure out how to put a small little kitchenette for less than $5,000, but if it has, it's perfect. So now it has its own doors, it has bedrooms, and then it has a living room, bathroom, finished bathroom, okay? Finished bathroom, boom. And if all of these things are in, guys, guess what? You can literally, the door here that leads upstairs, you can just condemn this door, lock it so they can't have access. If they want to exit, they can exit. They have their own entrance, they have their own exit, right? The driveway is big enough for them to put their car in, or they can park. You have street parking, whatever. And then make sure that there is no HOAs that stops you from renting this, and figure out, okay, because it's a basement, how much can I rent this for? If my family live in here and I put a tenant here, can I rent it for $1,000, for $1,200, for $1,800? Like the house that I'm in right now, guys, we're in the middle of going to Texas. We just figure out downstairs, the basement alone, we can rent it for $1,800. Now, this is a luxury neighborhood that I'm in. I'm not in a low-income neighborhood. The houses here start at $850. All the way above is the houses fully, absolutely brand new, fixed up. You cannot buy it for less than probably $1.2 million. So I'm in a luxury neighborhood, but neighborhoods where the properties are like $600,000 or below in terms of the value, right, guys? The rent might be a little bit less than that, but regardless, the way you turn this single family into an investment is by renting the basement by itself. So just make sure that whichever family that you put in here, okay, guys, well, obviously you vet them, you check you do what a landlord would do. Is an investment. You check them, you check their credit, you do a background check, you put a lease in place, okay? Learn how do you evict, the eviction laws in your area, so that you, like, let's say the tenant stop paying, how long is it gonna take me to evict them? Is this a great neighborhood to rent into? You understand don't get emotional about it. So your dream home that everybody dreams of, the dream home, I want to buy my dream home, I want to be a homeowner, that should come later after your investments. When your investments start paying you, then you go and buy your dream home, so you let your investments pay for your dream home. So that big $1 million home, you can do something like this and repeat by the duplexes. Repeat, ideally that's where you want to be, multifamily. You don't want to do single family, but if you're in a state where that's all you can find, just be creative with it, right? So you want to buy a couple of these until you replace your 9-to-5 income, to where now you don't have to go and exchange your physical force to earn money in case something happens to you. Then you go buy your dream home at that point if you want, where it's only you and your family. Beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood, maybe above the 700, 750. That's where the best schools are. That's where the best hospitals are. That's where you're gonna get the best neighbors, right? In those areas. But now you don't have to worry about a 9-to-5. You don't have to worry about another COVID-19. You know why? Because you've started with your investments. You didn't get emotional about it. All right, guys? This is the reason why you want to stay away from single family homes. Don't let the school system fool you. Don't let the banks fool you, guys. It only benefits them. And do the research. Just go online, sit down, talk to ChatGPT, do some research, use Google, do some research, and see statistically. And you know how I know it, guys? One of our strategies to get homes here in the US is going after pre-foreclosure homeowners. Homeowners that are on the verge of losing their homes, right? Oftentimes, even brand new homes, losing it to the auction because their home is worth $500,000, but they don't have $500 or $1,000 to catch up on their mortgage that they haven't paid for the last month, or for the last 3 months, or for the last year, or for the last 2 years. Statistically, most homeowners that owns one single family where only them or their family can live in, 600,000 value neighborhoods or below, guys, they go through some financial challenges. Not only that, they're only one paycheck away, $500 taken away from their paycheck, away from being in foreclosure. Just read the stats. Don't get emotional about it. Don't get emotional about it. When you're investing, it shouldn't be emotions. It should be a logical decisions. All right, guys? I'll see you guys on the next video. Like it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your takeaway is. Let me know if, you've been through this, you bought a single family and then you regretted it, and now, you're looking to transition, or if you're already multifamily, or let me know down below if you don't agree. Why don't you agree, guys? I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, keep that boom mentality. Stay bold. Stay obsessed with your dreams and objectives in life, guys. Stay optimistic, and lastly, keep that mindset abundant, guys. There is enough for everybody. There is enough opportunities. Stop watching the news. Stop reading all this garbage. If your bank account is not full yet, ignore it. Ignore the noise. Block it out and go to work, because there is deals to be done. There is money to be made, guys. There is enough for everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Boom, boom, boom.